In this episode of What's Working Now, we are going to talk about why trying to look rich keeps you poor. Being wealthy is a requirement these days. Even a child can tell you that. However, some people make the mistake of starting and stopping at their appearance. The most flashy bags, the most expensive cars, the most expensive dresses, and so on. Everything is for show. It's all for naught. Validation. The irony is that, despite giving the impression of being wealthy, their finances are in shambles. Acting rich may earn you a title and some social credit, but what good is that if you don't have any money set aside for your future self? Trying to appear wealthy is keeping you poor, and I'll explain why today. 7. Excessive expenditure. I don't know about you, but pretending to be someone I'm not is exhausting. And it's usually because I'm trying to impress people who couldn't care less. Sure, it's harsh, but it's the truth. I understand that no one wants to appear to be the poor guy around rich people, but it's a surefire way to end up in financial trouble. The good news is that combating your overspending is quite simple. This can be approached in manageable steps at first. Small, manageable changes made gradually have a better chance of sticking over time. Setting concrete goals and establishing a foundation with a budget and an emergency fund may be more advantageous than relying solely on willpower. It's also a good idea to avoid your wealthy friends, especially if you have the impression that they only gather for expensive events. Stick to your budget, live within your means, and distance yourself from so-called friends who force you to act like someone you're not. 6. Excessive borrowing. Most people take out large bank loans just to maintain their expensive status. But here's some good news for you, friend. This is how you end up with a bad financial situation. So you're trying to appear wealthy, but you end up with less and less money each time. Ironically, the opposite is happening. In your quest for wealth, you are digging your own financial grave. When discussing this subject, the word ironic cannot be overstated. The good news is that there is always an answer to every problem. For this particular issue, the simplest solution is to avoid paying for things you cannot afford. If you recall, Robert Kiyosaki discussed your financial and income statement in the book Rich Dad Poor Dad, and he mentioned two main sections in a typical income statement. This is a list of your assets and liabilities. Your assets are essential things that bring in money, whereas your liabilities are things that take money away. He stated that we should always spend more of our money in the assets column, on assets that generate revenue, and do our best to reduce our liabilities. In this case, trying to appear wealthy is a major risk. Credit card debt and loans, as you are probably aware, are not worth it. That being said, using your credit card and paying it back is a great idea. This is because the more you borrow and pay back on time, the higher your credit score will be, making things like getting a mortgage to buy a house much easier and cheaper in the future. So, if you're going to take out a loan, make sure you'll be able to repay it. Oh, and please don't get a loan to buy Gucci. 5. You will invest less, if at all. It is common knowledge that wealthy people have multiple sources of income, one of which is investing. Many people talk about the power of compound interest, and many people are encouraged to get their hands dirty with it as soon as possible. But here's the thing, if you're in debt and trying to pay off loan after loan, saving money for investing seems like a pipe dream. If you truly want to look like the wealthy, imitate their principles and routines rather than their wardrobe. I can assure you that truly wealthy people are more concerned with their future than with logos. They invest consistently in both retirement and non-retirement accounts. They understand that money is a hard-earned commodity, so they keep track of their income and expenses to maximize their returns. So, take a cue from our wealthy friends and put an end to the logo mania. If you want to be perceived as a wealthy individual, concentrate on how you can expand your investment portfolio. 4. You will always want to help others financially. The wealthy understand the value of money. After all, they earned it. When it comes to giving it away, they are a little hesitant, and they do so only after much thought. As much as it is a noble thing to help others, whether family or friends, don't fall into the trap of giving and giving just to look rich at the expense of your financial security. this is not to say you should stop giving altogether. If you have more than enough money, it is an honorable thing to give to those in need. Here's how you should go about it. Thoroughly investigate what they intend to spend it on, and don't hand over your hard-earned money to someone who won't recognize its worth. Make certain that they will return it. Don't be a coward. Unless you don't care whether it comes back to you or not, in which case you should still make sure the money is spent wisely. Don't be stingy with your money for the sake of appearances. 3. You are overindulging yourself. We all enjoy a good treat, especially when we've worked hard for it. But, if we're being honest, how many times have you overindulged yourself even when you knew there was no reason? I know I'm guilty, and I've done this to myself numerous times. It all starts with one iced coffee from the local overpriced cafe and spirals downhill from there. But do you know what the truly wealthy do? Those who aren't concerned with appearances. They occasionally treat themselves to a nice luxury handbag or a soft cashmere sweater. And when they do, they see it as an investment rather than a splurge. That is, it is something they will cherish forever and most likely pass down to their children. Another thing they do is look at treating themselves from a different angle. They take good care of their bodies and their minds. This includes going to the gym every day and eating hearty, fresh, and healthy home-cooked meals at each meal. They spend money on books and courses that will enlighten and elevate every aspect of their lives. I believe we can all learn from these wealthy individuals rather than the appearance-obsessed ones. As a result, do as the wealthy do and treat yourself to a good and healthy lifestyle. 2. You're getting used to it. Look at the rich guys who have worked their way up. They are well acquainted with hard work. If you want to achieve their level of success, you must step outside of your comfort zone to build your wealth. Leaving your comfort zone may entail taking a job you don't feel qualified for, learning a new skill, or asking for help from others, and it may even entail losing sleep from time to time as you rush from job number 3 to job number 4. Don't get so comfortable that all you do is spend but barely make enough. Develop the ability to function in a constant state of uncertainty, and you'll be able to keep your head above water financially. 1. Focus on the present rather than planning for the future. We've already discussed how wealthy people spend their money. To refresh your memory, they carefully consider each purchase, and when they do, it is always a timeless piece that they will have for generations. Don't be that person who follows trends all the time. The person who, with each new iPhone release, discards their old one to obtain the new one, even if they don't need it. Consider the future. Concentrate on accumulating assets and improving your health. Aside from not overspending, make sure you have enough in retirement and savings accounts and that you've invested a significant portion of your income. When the time comes to spend, ask yourself, do I need this or is it just another expense to fill the void? The first rule in the How to Be Rich guidebook is to plan for the future, and failing to do so is the biggest financial mistake you can make. Don't fall into the trap of trying to look rich while breaking the bank. If you feel the need to change who you are to fit in, it's time to be honest with yourself. Don't be concerned with how you appear to others. As long as you're presentable and properly dressed, believe me when I say you're fine. Concentrate on what is truly important. Take the time to gradually build your wealth by saving, investing, and then saving and investing some more. Think before you buy, and don't give in to impulse purchases just to gain approval from people who don't know what they're talking about. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you like this video or think it would benefit a friend or someone else, please share it. Also guys, please do me a favor and click on the bell icon and enable notifications if you're a subscriber. If you're not, well, welcome to the channel and I hope you do subscribe and enable notifications. With that said, thanks for watching and I'll see you at the next one. Bye.